This is Good Morning Iowa.
It is 6:30 now on your Wednesday, October 26th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Samantha Mesa.
And I'm Chanu Hur. Yeah, definitely enjoying that little bit warmer weather. Yeah, it feels good to get out there this morning.
It is a great weather night for Friday Night Football. Local 5 sports reporter Jake Brand is in Huxley with a preview of our game of the week. But first, Taylor, what exactly can football fans expect tonight?
Yeah, perfection is what they can expect.
I wanted someone to jump out and surprise you.
There's a skeleton behind you that doesn't look too friendly, so I wouldn't get too comfortable if I was you.
It's better we don't do that.
Well, today starts Hispanic Heritage Month in the United States. For many countries in Central and South America, the month signifies independence. Now, that is true for these countries here who celebrate their independence today. Mexico and Chile celebrate their Independence Days tomorrow and Sunday, respectively.
All right, everyone, let's head back out live to the Iowa State Fair, joined by Samantha Mesa. She's going to share a little bit about her family's roots at the Iowa State Fair. Samantha, I had no idea that any of this happened. Oh my gosh, tell us all about it.
I know, it's crazy, right? Okay, so rounding out this last day of the Iowa State Fair, I wanted to share some family connection with you. So while this fair is my second fair experiencing all the great things about Iowa, when I moved here last year, Chanu, this is crazy. I learned my great-grandparents met here in Iowa, and I've shared with y'all, I come from a mixed family, Mexican, Irish, and French. The Irish and French side. Roy and Lolita Coates, great-grandparents, met here and started part of my family in Oskaloosa, Iowa. This experience here at the fair has further shown me that our communities are diverse and surprising in how we are more connected than we could imagine. So I close out today sharing a little bit about my family history and thanking all of you at home for accepting me into your homes. I am trusting your word, okay? Sources can confirm it is very good.
And you did just try the alligator.
It is the last day of the Iowa State Fair. I think a lot of us are saying, how did that happen so fast? Quite a lot happened in the course of these days. Gary Slater joining me now, the CEO and manager of the Iowa State Fair. Thanks for being with us today.
Oh, you're very welcome. We're about to wrap it up, aren't we?
Former President Donald Trump is set to hold a rally in Iowa ahead of the midterms. A new poll shows a majority of voters disapprove of the former commander-in-chief. 52% of Iowans who responded to this poll say their views on Trump are very or mostly unfavorable. Trump won Iowa's 6 electoral votes in the 2020 election, but lost to Democrat Joe Biden. Turning to local 5 politics, Election Day is less than 5 weeks away, and 2 key debates took place yesterday to secure Iowa voters on key issues. One being the key race for the 3rd congressional district between Democratic incumbent Representative Cindy Axne and Republican State Senator Zach Nunn. We're hearing from Congresswoman Ashley Hinson for the first time since being released from the hospital. On a press call today, she made it clear debt relief for farmers and debt relief for students are different. With just 3 days until the midterm elections, Democrats bringing out the heavy hitters. President Biden in Illinois before traveling to Philadelphia for a rally where he'll be joined by former President Barack Obama. Former President Donald Trump will also be in Philadelphia at a rally for Republican Dr. Mehmet Oz. Here's ABC's Mary Alice Parks with the details. We are following breaking news this morning on Des Moines' south side of an active scene early in the morning. This is near Southeast 3rd and McKinley Avenue. We have been following this. We are waiting to hear back from police on exactly what happened. We've reached out to the Des Moines police early in the hours for any information on what's behind the active scene in that neighborhood. Again, this is near Southeast 3rd and McKinley. Be sure to stay with Local 5 on air and online as we learn more.
I'm told several of those asylum seekers have been sent to their respective destinations, several going to families in cities across the nation. Lawyers and advocates tell CBS 4 27 people, including children, were processed across the border fairly smoothly today without any major issues. Now the question is, what is going to happen tomorrow? I'm standing along this soggy shoreline. This is where mosquitoes are laying their eggs, an area that kids usually play. You can hear the traffic is moving quick. It's this time of the day, tow trucks, they're getting a lot of calls from people that need help, from flat tires to breakdowns. Critical time to pay attention to anyone working on the road. For truck driver Troy Capone, his truck was smashed when a driver failed to move over.
Local 5 anchor Samantha Mesa spoke with a family who lost their son to an overdose. They hope to help others survive addiction and find recovery and healing.
He had a full-time job, had a brand new car, had a girlfriend he was actually going to propose to that summer, and had been with her for almost 3 years at that point. So he wasn't a typical junkie on the streets.
Jordan Prophet was 21, on the cusp of creating his own life.
He was clean 2.5 years.
His parents say they almost lost him when he'd shot up years before.
We all rushed up to Methodist Hospital, of course, and when he came to, he just cried, sobbing, "Mom, I'm so sorry. I promise you, I promise I will never do this again."
But they did go through it again. One last time. His father found him unconscious in their basement after a fentanyl overdose. His other son, frantic.
Came rushing back upstairs, my other son, and said, "Dad, I can't do this anymore, he's down." Immediately rushing downstairs and seeing his lifeless body, and just immediately my protective instincts was, get to him. He was face down, and when I turned him over, as sad as this may be, I already knew he was gone. I tried to revive him. He, like I said, there was at one point that I thought he was grasping for air, and I stopped and I leaned down to hear it, and nothing. It was nothing, and kept on going until the paramedics got there. They announced him dead at our home.
Jordan was turning to drugs, numbing the stresses and pains of life, a path specialists say many experience. And today his parents' hearts are heavy. Looking back, they recall he was going through a lot of loss during that time, and drugs became a form of self-medicating.
Jordan and his friends started off of marijuana, and it went to pill prescriptions, and it just went to what's going to be the next high.
Before his deadly overdose, he was sober almost 3 years. The turning point, losing his best friend in 2016.
He was the first one of the group of friends to go. And we should have, and I regret this, we should have kept a closer eye on him. I just had blinders on.
His mother, Diane Prophet, says that loss of friendship wore down Jordan's spirit.
We knew he was going through a lot. He just didn't know how to process it. And he went back to what he knew would take away the pain, take away the memories for that little bit of time. And it took him that night. That night, the dose that he had, that heroin was laced with carfentanil, which is an elephant tranquilizer. He went right away. He wanted kids, he wanted a wife, he wanted everything out of this world.
Jeremiah Lindman also knows this pain. He lost his brother to overdose.
He was extremely charismatic and charming personality, would just light up the room, full of smiles.
After losing his brother, Lindman then heard from a mother who lost her son to drugs. She wanted to celebrate their loved ones' lives, so he launched a map that tracks overdoses nationwide in the hope to prevent more lives from being lost.
There's still so much stigma of us, what a druggie is or what a junkie is.
His goal for the map is to break the stigma and to show who people were before spiraling into addiction. Lindman believes pain medication can become a crutch dealing with life stressors for anyone. A stigma further buries this hidden disease.
The stigma has kept people from going out to treatment. It is an issue. Treatment does work and recovery works, and showing compassion, to help people get there, I think will go a ways.
Now he understands there is no quick fix.
I don't have all the answers. I don't think anyone does, unfortunately, right now. I think we're still working very reactive. Pain can be defined so many different ways. Pain for other people is a lot of the mental issues and stuff that are going on in our society, and I think that's you have COVID and all sorts of issues that have been going on the last couple of years. It's just it's a bad mix right now.
Jordan's father agrees and believes the pandemic is making mental health challenges worse.
Because I feel that with the pandemic and just everything that came with it, losing human interaction, not being able to do the things that they were used to, they're leaning towards that gateway, that way to soothe themselves. And I feel that just with the stresses of it, workplace, everything happening with our lives right now, they don't know how to process pain like that. And what better way than to shoot up and forget about it for a while.
Jordan's family and Lindman say this is not about a war on drugs. Rather, compassion is key.
Just be there for them. You can't change them. They have to make that step. But be there and listen to them. Try to reach out and get help for them.
And they want folks to understand addiction can happen to anyone and to acknowledge if someone is using, compassion could save their life. Today, all Diane has of Jordan is memories and a locket with his ashes.
He left behind 3 siblings that are really struggling right now. I mean, they both went through graduations without their big brother, and so many milestones that their big brother is not going to be there for. Not to mention that I'm missing out on what my son would have been. He had a home life, he lived in Urbandale, but everybody needs to remember, this is everywhere. This is in Johnston, this is in West Des Moines, this is in Urbandale, this is in Waukee. This could be your neighbor 2 doors down that you don't know is going through this.